Welcome to Band for Life. Thank you for joining us here this week. I'm Grainger, I got it right, and this
is Pete. Thanks.
Pete.
What was that?
This is my new YouTube voice.
It's your YouTube voice.
Yes.
Good YouTube voice.
My new YouTube voice to go with my new microphone, can you tell?
Yes, because now I can actually hear your chair creaking when you move on it.
Ooh! Everybody in the comments go, ooh, shiny. I mean, I say new, it's actually secondhand, but it's probably better than my inbuilt Mac one.
Well, yeah. It's like shouting down a cup with a piece of string on it. I am not doing that.
We started already.
Would be better than your Mac mic.
But yes, this is it. Another week, another band coming on today. Later on, we have got 99 Mercies coming on.
Yeah, I want to say episode 6, but whether this actually comes out in order or not, I don't know.
No, but it's the 6th week we've been recording. Just a fun fact for all you listeners out there or watchers.
For us, this is week 6.
For us, this is week 6. Week 6 in the big brother house.
And Graingers finally lost it.
I'm in the red zone.
Anyway, our topic this week is being a sound engineer and a musician.
I feel like every band has at least one member who is either a sound engineer and has done it, or kind of takes the role as a sound engineer, even if they're not one, just because they're the one who sorts out the stuff.
Yeah, it was always me.
And in my band, it's actually usually me.
What?
Yeah, I do them. So when we're in the practice room, I'm the one who normally plugs the microphones in. Our drummer does. Our drummer's got sometimes has like a trigger with him, and he has like other electrical things on his kit. He does that by himself normally, but I normally do the microphones, and I don't do the amps like we normally do our own amps. But there are musicians out there who I know, because we did that at one point. I'm sure there was once where you came to my amp and tweaked it because I wasn't getting the right sound that I wanted, and you did something.
Probably, more than likely.
And that's kind of the sound engineer in a band syndrome.
Yeah. Being a sound engineer and a musician is good because, oh my God, oil your chair.
I'm going to try not to move.
You've totally took me off where I was at now.
Being a sound engineer and a musician.
Right. So I feel like there's a constant battle between sound engineers and musicians, normally guitarists, about stage volume and then sound. So
yeah,
the common thinking of a sound engineer in a small venue that I know of is that if you play quiet on stage, you're going to get a better sound out front and you'll be able to hear yourself better through the monitors and things. Yes?
That's what every good engineer I've ever met has said, yeah, including myself.
So what happens when you turn up a guitar amp really, really loud? It sounds better.
Well, not always, because you could have a small amp that you need to really push to get a really nice kind of, that kind of tone that you want. Sometimes that sounds better than having an amazingly big amp that's on really low volume.
Yeah, no, but generally speaking, the louder it is on stage, and the more the drummer's going for it and knocking 10 kinds of crap out of the drum kit.
If you're that kind of band.
The better your band plays because they're putting everything into it. I never think that the sound coming back at me through monitors is as good as hearing it live on stage.
It depends though, because honestly, like I do understand what you're saying, and to an extent, I agree that you have to have the right feel on stage. You do manage to play off each other. However, Where I disagree is that I've played gigs where I've had my amp louder than other gigs, yet I've been able to hear myself less because of where it is, because of where it's situated. Whereas I've done gigs where it's been on a lot lower, and I've been able to hear myself a lot clearer because we've had a good monitor engineer with good monitors. We've been able to hear ourselves. So sometimes just having those guitarists, and it's always guitarists, by the way, who go like, I'm just gonna knock it up a bit because I can't hear myself, and then they mess up the monitor mix. They still can't hear themselves. They knock it up even more. Then the guitar's too loud in the mix. The drummer can't hear the bass, so then the drummer starts playing the wrong stuff. Maybe not the wrong stuff, but it can throw people off.
Well, I agree. There's a point. There is a point. I think that there needs to be a point where if they go too loud, then yeah, it just sounds shit. You need a fine balance. And there's some sound engineers. I remember distinctly one gig that we played at your college. So it was a long time ago.
Yeah, so we had a big stage.
We were literally stood on stage, and I had a little combo, a little line 6 combo.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Right? And he's going, needs to be a bit quieter. So I turn it down a little bit quieter, mate. Turn it down a little bit quieter if you can. I'm like, mate, I can't even hear it.
Yeah, like, okay, yeah, if you can't hear it yourself and the monitors
that's
not
stupid.
Yeah, that's too low. But with everything, there's a line. I do agree that you're on stage, and you generally, like, if you are a new band, like you often, it's just a trial by error, because we've done gigs where you get it wrong, like you'll get guitarists who turn up, bassists who turn up or whatever, or turn down, and you have things that are too loud, things that are too quiet. But you know, like, good bands that I've done sound for, they generally actually know the levels, and obviously it's different for different venues.
Yeah.
But venue sizes, you know, if you're playing a general small venue or pub, they kind of, most good, even unsigned bands kind of know where the sound should be, and then the engineer just has to tweak it a bit. It's good to kind of know that.
Yeah. So here's the other thing: bands who rehearse with their gig set up, sound better at a gig, because they've then, like, I know me and my other guitarist in whatever, links down below. There won't be a link down below. Oh, we've got a friend in. Anyway, so the other guitarist in whatever and me both EQ our amps so that they blend nicely.
Yeah.
So they're not fighting each other, and so they don't create like this cacophony of horribleness.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think we should probably talk about that in another episode. We'll do a news on whether you should practice, or if you should ever practice as if you were doing a gig. There is a definite answer. I think we could do an entire news section just on that, to be honest. Maybe next week. Yeah?
I think a gig rehearsal is a need. You can't not do it.
Let's talk about it next week, because you're giving it away there.
Okay. Okay. So this week we've got 99 Mercies coming on, who are a metal band from all over the place.
Apparently so.
Yeah. So should we get the boys in?
Yep, let's get them in. So this week we've got 99 Mercies. We have got Jack and Tim.
Yo, I'm the guitarist.
And I'm the drummer.
Which is really confusing, because you're sat in front of a drum kit.
Yeah.
That's my kit.
It's his drum kit.
That's it.
An undisclosed location.
A secret hidden base just off the M6.
This is where the magic happens.
Junction 12 on Smith Street. You know what? Actually, like, I never realized this playing the gigs, but Tim, like, you've got a bit of Christian Bale about you.
I'll take that. I am
Like,
Batman.
Is that just me saying that? I'm not just trying to say it to, kiss your ass or anything like.
Cooper in the past. But
Say that again.
I've had Bradley Cooper in the past. Christian Bale, I'll take that.
Yeah, it's been fucking shit. I haven't seen the inside of a practice room for months.
Innit?
I've got all my amps sat down here just fucking gathering dust. You eat shit.
I know, it's pretty mad.
Even high,
But,
it's tough for us because we're spread across the country as well. So, like,
Yeah.
there's 2 of us in Manchester, there's 2 of us in Huddersfield, and the other one's in Hull. So we've got that
No.
to consider as well.
He's back in field now, isn't he? So there's just me in Huddersfield.
I never knew that. I never knew that. Well, because where did we meet? Like, we met.
Roughly,
We met at a gig. Which gig did we meet at? Was it the Sheffield?
Was it not the parish in Huddersfield?
I think it was. I think
I
it
remember.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
It was. Yeah. That's a. I remember that being a. Is that where the sound engineers upstairs?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a great little venue. In fact, our singer Paul got fucked that night. Like, he got wrecked. I remember he was dancing inside, and I was like, dude.
He was wearing all the crazy masks and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because even me and the singer at the time, we were like, "The fuck is this shit?"
Yeah,
and then you were ill, and we were like, "All right, fair."
Yeah. We do enjoy the theatricals, you know, like we do enjoy the theatricals. How long have 99 Mercies? Say again, Tim.
You were sick that night. You were
cheers,
really,
man.
yeah, for real.
We enjoyed your set as well. That's why we kept in touch and got you down in Stockport and stuff, because it was you're good at finding bands of similar kind of, like, you know, styles in a way. Like, I mean, every band's different and stuff, but you know, it's difficult to find decent ones sometimes. And that's why I wanted to bring you down and stuff, because that gig in Stockport was good. It was a really good gig as well.
Sick that night.
Where
was that? Spinning Top.
It was Spinning Top, yeah. We're gonna do another. We will do another one. We'll get you one again. We'll probably do another one next year now, but because we normally pack that, because it's a little venue, and it's always better to play a packed out little venue, innit? So we'll probably do that again and get you one again next year and stuff, because that was it was pretty good.
Right, so how long have you guys been going for then now?
Close to 3 years.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
been, I'd say it's been a journey. That been like
Yeah.
me and Jack met. Well, I met Paulie years ago, who's a singer. I met Paulie. I've known him since Yay Big, you know. And then our mate went to Huddersfield Uni and met Jack, and then we met up. And then he knew our bassist, and then
Yeah.
the guitarist through some other friends as well. But it was all done through Huddersfield Uni.
So we kind of met in uni, and then
and then use their resources to practice and get it all together.
Did you do sound stuff in uni then, like sound engineering or something, or?
I didn't, but our other guitarist did. He did a music tech course there.
So free studios.
Yeah, and then the bassist and drummer, well, Jack, did musical performance.
Yeah.
On his behalf there.
Sweet. So yeah, so you met in uni. Have you had any lineup changes, or has it been the same the whole 3 years?
We've had a few.
Yeah. What's it been?
I think without going into it too much, we did have a bassist.
Right.
I was gonna say it's always the bassist. You always lose the bassist.
You know what? You can never get one either. They're like golden. They turn up. They're always shady.
Yeah. Hardest member to find.
Fucking right. But yeah, so we did have another bassist at one point, but it didn't work out, shall we say?
Right. Okay. Yeah. I think I've always struggled with drummers. I've always struggled to find good drummers. I've not struggled to find drummers. I've struggled to find good drummers.
I was gonna say the main difference there.
Yeah. It's like you want to throw a stone. Go on. Sorry, what?
We're still looking for.
First join.
Oh, cheeky. No, it's pretty cool. That parish gig was actually a sick gig. I remember that being a really good gig. So, because you're local to, are you in? You said you're from Huddersfield, Jack.
Yeah.
And
I live here, yeah.
And that gig was in Huddersfield, wasn't it? Am I right, or was it nearby? So were they all your fans then who came?
Yeah, my fan, not 99 Mercies fan.
Your personal fan base.
Amazing. So, like, what kind of, like, because you've been going for 3 years now. You've probably been. Have you been in different bands before as well, or just?
Yeah, I've been in bands all my life.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've not always played metal. I've played in like other indie bands and stuff like that. I did a solo project when I was in college. then this is like the first metal band that I've been playing in.
What kind of stuff do you listen to? Because this actually got mentioned in another video we did, where we're talking about musicians in bands, and I said I put an advert on Join My Band, and I got interest from like indie musicians when I put out a metal advert, and then one of the guys was like, "Yeah, but sometimes it can work because you like to bring in different styles and stuff." So like, what kind of?
I find that a lot of metalheads play indie first because it's just it's easy to do without
gateway.
I like a lot of indie music, to be fair. Like, I like a lot of Manchester scene and stuff like that, you know, like Stone Roses and Happy Mondays and shit like that. But I think, I don't know, I've known so many metal players that have played in indie bands. It's mad. It is like you said, Peter, and I think it is just a stepping stone to it.
Yeah, my first band was actually an indie covers band, just doing your pub covers.
You're kidding?
Because it was straight up, and we were good as well. We headlined a few pub gigs, and we got asked to play a music festival in the northeast where I'm from, and I ended up supporting fucking Tapao, who had that song "Shine on Your Hand," and Aswad, that Jamaican Caribbean reggae. Oh, it was awesome, man. It was fucking good. But I was always a metal drummer. So you've got the lads wearing the polo shirts, and the skinheads love it, and you've got me shirtless, giant rev tattoo across my chest, playing it right, but twiddling my sticks, headbanging. And I'd love to be able to still play it in a pub band, because there's nothing like drunk middle-aged women to really fucking make it play well.
I can vouch for that.
What was that band called then? Because I can imagine, because you do. I remember from what I remember of you guys playing, you smashed the fuck out of the kit. So I can imagine this kind of situation where you got that, like that indie covers, and you're there on the kit proper like. China?
I think I did, because I was a metal drummer, but I don't know. Now I overuse it, but it was. I've always hammered the shit out of the kit because that's what it's for. I was playing on a Liberty kit back then. That was what was crafted in my hometown, and it was amazing. Like, just playing all the shows for people who were singing along, and I was always a metalhead. So I really was. I never used double kick. I played the songs right. I did my own little flourishes and that, but it was just, I looked so out of place, but didn't miss the beat, you know what I mean? Really just played the songs.
That's mega, because there's a thing, right? There's a thing about drummers. Like, I don't know if you guys get this, but like everybody I've spoken to, there's a thing about drummers being in several bands or being able to adapt to several bands more than any other musician. I know, because our drummer used to be. It surprised me. Our drummer used to be an indie drummer, as in an indie band, but he actually wasn't a metal drummer. He was an indie drummer who then had to kind of learn double bass and stuff better to do what we do now. It took him a while. It took us a couple of years to get him to kind of prior to practice a lot, and the whole China thing and all that. He never used to do any of that stuff, any of that kind of.
Do you think drums are more transposable over different genres? So you can take the groove of a reggae beat and put it in a metal song.
Yeah. I think having been, because I play in a couple of covers bands at the moment, rather than what were we, Grange? I used to play with Granger in other bands before. We were hard rock.
Hard rock.
Never went as far as metal. But I think having that kind of groundwork to build on kind of gives you more to bring to the table then, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Going back to your question before there, Grange, saying what do we listen to? In our band, we I don't have a specific genre that we listen to. I'm a sucker for an 80s tune, me. You know.
Yeah.
Whisper. And you'll have me in tears. but at the same time, I'll listen to stuff like Death and Lamb of God and shit like that, you know. I think it's important to have all genres included.
Yeah, it just surprises me. Like, yeah, it surprises me how many musicians I speak to say like the members of the band are all into completely different things, or sometimes we're into completely different things. Sometimes they're just really diverse in terms of they like indie stuff and they like metal stuff, they like blues stuff and they like jazz, and it's like you like jazz, and and it's mad. So I guess you don't have to necessarily represent your favorite style of music in the music you play, but as long as it's something that you enjoy doing, basically. So. Coming on from something that you enjoy doing, what about some of your greatest gigs or some of your best gigs? I mean, I've heard about Jack's reggae gig with the MILFs. I mean, that's good. What about 99 Mercies? What would you say? What would you say is your best gig, or one of the gigs that you've done where either it was just outstanding for whatever reason?
Best or favorite?
I know.
So we'll tell you what. We'll start with the bet. We'll start with your favorite gig for whatever reason, and then we'll do your overall best gig.
I'd say I'll go first. I think my favorite gig was at a place called Whittles in Oldham. I don't know.
We talked about that last week.
We know it, yeah.
Yeah, played there a couple of times.
Their scene is incredible, and I think do you know 016 one as well? Shout out 016 one. If you know that they're heavily connected with Whittles as well, so the work that they're doing, big up guys, like big shout out to them. But yeah, my favourite gig was at Whittles. It was just before we were playing Metal to the Masses at the beginning of this year. So in fact, it was about this time last year that we played it.
Yeah.
We were warming up for a covers metal band, so they were like you like Metallica's and Korn's and stuff like that.
Yeah. Why was it your personal favourite? Is it because of the way you played? Was it because of the audience? It was
the way we played, because we turned up as an unknown, and by the end of the gig, everyone was popping with it. Everyone was like, the amount of like love that we got coming off stage that night was it was really good.
It
coming
was also
from a situation as well,
It was also the last ever Whittles gig, or certainly like band gig. So everyone was there. It was like we were going into an already full venue. We're there to, or to not say band, you know what I mean? We went in, played. That was our obviously second to last gig, which does nicely lead into our best gig, which was at the Bread Shed in Manchester. We did Metal to the Masses this year. Best being obviously not so best that we advanced through the rounds or anything, but it just, you always, every time you play, you're just getting better and better and better. And me especially, like, I used to only play in 99 Mercies. It's quite heavy shit. Used to only play with a single kick because I'd fucked my ankles playing American football. So just getting better and better and better, more creative. And I went on that stage and I was like, right, and I am renowned in this band for just getting pissed before I play. And still playing well, but like, and still playing the songs, but just, do you know what, Jack? Don't drink so much before you go on. Just have enough to get that Dutch courage. You get your tits out, you're twiddling your sticks, you're mean. And I did. And like, I look back at some of the videos that were caught, and even though there's about 8 pixels on the screen because fucking shite camera, the sound, I'm like, hear what I'm doing. And I think, wow. And the crowd was amazing, and nobody missed a beat in terms of showmanship. Everyone had it in the band, which it was just nice. I think it was the best because you get a look back. When you're on stage and there's no one filming, you don't really know. But when a couple of days later, you look back and you think, fucking hell, did I do that? And we didn't miss a beat, really. It was just what we were good at. And I think, I mean, everyone said, the judges all said it was too fucking close. It was, when we don't mind, we enjoyed it, and we'll reapply next year, and we'll put on.
We're humble,
Yeah, totally. Did you say you got to look back? Was the gig filmed at the Bread Shed?
It wasn't by them, but we
had a couple of people in filming it for us.
Oh, sweet! Because we can put put links below.
Yeah, we'll link you after the video.
We'll put links below to check it out because I haven't actually seen that, so I'll be interested in watching that actually. So it'd be really cool to watch it. Metal to the Masters is awesome, and it is competitive. It's always a good gig because they seem to always have good bands on the lineup. Even though you start at the early stages, it's tough then. Like, you know, we World Health Hostage played it. We didn't get through, and there was some mint bands on, you know, and the whole night was like God, every band's class. Like,
play at the station in Ashton. You played at the station in Ashton, didn't you?
We did at Rebellion. We did Metal to the Masters at Rebellion, and then we did do the station. Is that the pub?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played
I was there with the bassist.
Oh man, yeah, I think I remember. Is that when there was a two-piece band on?
Yeah.
And then the last band, the guy was it was like a kind of, I don't know what, a drag act kind of. It wasn't like a drag act, but it kind of was. I don't know like how to describe it.
I forget that they were quite good, but like you say, it's good to know that there's so many good bands knocking about.
Yeah.
We found out at that gig that our old drummer came to that gig, our ex drummer, right? And he didn't. We thought we found, because we knew it was really close, and apparently there was a rumor afterwards. I don't know if it was true, that we're like one vote out or something, and our ex drummer voted for the other band.
No.
I don't know if it's true or not, to be fair, because I was like, well, how'd you find that out? And apparently it was like, oh, my mates, one of the judges or whatever. I was like, whatever. So I was like, but you know, it was a good gig. Again, it was a good gig. I remember that one. That was completely different from Rebellion because that's like the tiniest venue.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right, it's a difficult stage to play that. We played there.
We played there a few times.
You've not got the openness that you're used to.
People just walk straight, like almost straight past you, don't you? Sometimes, and if you want to get to the back, you've got to basically go through the stage.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, it's tough. I mean, that stage is small for a 3-piece, you know, so like 4-piece, 5-piece. Thank God nobody had a keyboard, eh?
You guys are fine.
World Health Hostage is a 5-piece. Yeah, we're a 5-piece. So yeah, it was pretty tough. It sounds like Jack. It sounds like it wasn't just your best gig. It sounds like it may have been your favorite as well. Was it your favorite and your best, or were you both in agreement?
I mean, we've had some favorite gigs for different reasons. Like one of my favorite gigs, like a lot of people who have followed the page for a while. I am quite a charming bastard, basically. So
it's the Geordie in it.
It is. I got in touch with Kestrel beer because one night I went out and I was drinking Kestrel Super Strength and it's like special brew with 9%.
I know Kestrel.
So I was flirting with him for weeks. Oh, hey boo, fucking, I think you should endorse us. And then he got back to us and we're like, hey Jack, yeah, we'd love to send you out some like free beer and some shirts and that. I should have put it on. I don't know where it is. I've just moved out.
We all got T-shirts and everything.
You are kidding. So you got sponsored by Kestrel beer?
Horse by Kestrel.
That's amazing.
We played a gig and I drank more. We were playing with grunge bands and I love grunge. I'm a huge grunge fan. But I think grunge is like, you don't have to play stupidly tight in a way. I find the sloppiness charming. So in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm going to play sloppy. And I must have had about 6 cans of fucking Super Kestrel.
Oh my God.
And I'm a big guy. I am a big guy.
Oh, no, what it was that in the bar we were in, it was like £8 a pint, but it was a proper dive bar. And we were like, £8 a pint. So we went to the local bargain booze, and all they stocked was Kestrel. So we bought 8 of it. Me and him nailed them before we went on.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
you've had Kestrel?
No, I haven't.
Dude.
Don't.
Yeah.
I know we're here to endorse it and don't.
I mean, because the thing is, it's basically double strength, isn't it? So if you had 6, you basically had 12.
Yeah.
And that's beers.
Before. So it was in the middle of summer as well. So it was the hottest day. Mate, I nearly died.
Mainlining then.
I've got a theory that you must like sweat it out when you drum, man. Like it must just pour out of you. Like the alcohol must seep through your veins, you know, and like
it gives you a super.
Nah, I loved it. It was a good gig, and I played. Well, you always, if you're pissed, you think you played better than you did, but we did play well, and all the bands were fucking like really for us and that because they just were. And I think did we headline that one?
Yeah.
I don't know if they pulled names out of the hat, but I was fucking trashed. I couldn't sit on my stool straight, so I was just relying on my feet going to keep us up. It was a really fucking good gig. Really good gig.
It was funny that night. I don't know what happened to us because we're normally quite professional, but we just, for some reason, we fucked it that night. Me and the bassist were outside having a cig just before, like half an hour before the gig, and this homeless guy came past with 2 pizzas, and he'd already eaten one, and he had a full pizza in a box, and he was like, "Yeah, lads, do you want that?" Me and the bassist, "Yeah, go on." So it was all cold and just like decrepit. So I took it into the pub and I gave it to Jack, and he ate it.
Oh, mate, devoured it.
I'd do it again. Guts of steel.
What the guy forgot to tell you was today's pizza that he couldn't finish.
That's what I do that now.
That's mega. Have you ever done? Because you were saying about you couldn't sit on your stool. Have you ever done those gigs where if you've not got a drum carpet or you're not on a carpet surface and it's just on like a hard floor, that the kit starts just moving away from you?
Your drum kit runs away.
Yeah, I am. I can name the gig. We had a lot of we played the Witchwood in Ashton, and we had a lot of trouble just with being available for it. We really wanted to do it, but very last minute, can we do it? And we were like, fuck it, we're doing it. So one of the members couldn't come, so we had to play as a 4-piece, which is hard when you're a 5-piece and you rely on every single member equally.
Yeah.
And then we played on the stage, and not only was there no carpet, it wasn't even a carpet. It was just fabric that was like pushed together. Then as you played, it would still move anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
And it was worn, and I'm doing like what I'm doing on my feet. And my drum kit, because the kit was so worn, me pedals wouldn't actually attach to the fucking kit. And you don't find that out until you're playing like one of your intricate songs, and you're like, my pedals were at one point not even hitting the skin; it was scraping past the skin.
Oh, dude.
And I rely a lot on like my polyrhythms on my feet and stuff for the song. I couldn't believe it, and I was gutted. But I mean, that same gig, it was a lot of hardcore band, and I'm just there being the giant, like in amongst like loads of hardcore kids. And I got karate chopped in the face, no shirt on because I never wear a shirt, pissing with blood everywhere, and that made up for it. Just being in amongst all those fucking karate choppers.
That was mega.
Yeah, we've done the Witchwood. I remember something about the kit running away in the Witchwood as well.
Yeah, it happened to us that. Maybe they should get that
Sure it
sorted. It's been years since we played there as well. Oh man,
like propping it back with amps in front of it.
Yeah, that's
we're doing that. These are the things you see that people just don't get. If you're not in the band and you're just watching, you're just there to see a gig. These are the things you just don't get. They just don't understand.
They don't even know it. They don't even know.
That when we played the Bread Shed at the beginning of the year, we've got a song where I do a really like nuanced pinch harmonic, and the on stage monitors, I hit this pinch, but I hit it like the sweetest I've ever hit a pinch harmonic ever, and the note it came through the monitor, and it was so high pitched it nearly deafened me. It was that loud it nearly made me collapse. My ears had popped and everything. I was like, "Fuck, dude."
Right. Well, that kind of leads nicely on actually. So we've done a couple of good gigs, and we can always get you on again in the future if you've got more stories. So don't worry about getting it all out. Don't feel like you have to get everything out now, because there's definitely something to this middle-aged women that maybe is there we can talk about in the future. But what about some of your work? I mean that already. We've already got a little bit of one there with the drum kit running off the stage. What about any others that maybe, for whatever reason, either didn't go to plan or something happened? And it could be something that happened before the gig, something that happened after the gig, or something that happened while you were playing.
I remember a particular one in Leeds. I forget I can't remember the venue. But we've got our last song at the time in our set was a song called The Watcher. The song's about, it's just about metal as a genre. It's like if metal was a person. It's basically just a homage to metal. But the end of the song has a massive breakdown on it, and it's all like just headbang and mosh pit fest. And just before we got to the breakdown, there's a solo in it, and all of my electrics in my guitar just gave way. I saw the pickup fall out of the guitar.
What?
Oh no! So I had to mime all of the breakdown until and after the gig, I was looking at my guitar and it was completely destroyed. It was fucked, absolutely just in the woodwork.
Oh no way!
No,
We still got that one, didn't we? One of the few that actually paid us.
yeah, no, yeah.
We didn't
Still got it.
fucking. I don't know. Worst gigs. For me, worst gigs aren't so much the playing of us, because I like to think, and it's not like a brag. It's just we know the songs, we wrote them.
Mm-hmm.
We generally hit more than we miss when we play them.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so playing with bands that aren't necessarily interested in our style of metal. I've found it's worse because they're just not interested, and you get some metalheads that fucking love it, and they could hate our music but just love the scene enough and go wild for it, which I love. But we have had gigs where it's been the other way, where we're not beat down enough, or we're not metal enough, or we're too metal, and you know, and you just get it's hard. And we've had gigs like that where people have like, I get stupidly because I'm still an infant, where people walk away and I'm like,
yeah, I'm like that.
Yeah, it's emotionally crippling. Then you're still playing, and you're like, no, come back. I'll do something good. Just trust that
I'll take my skin off next.
Those are the worst gigs for me, where people just aren't quite interested, and it's not through any fault of our own. Like, we once played a Christmas do for a motorcycle club, and I'm big into my motorcycle and motorcycle clubs type stuff, and I thought, oh, this will be right up my street, like getting to meet people, and I know me bikes and stuff. And it was their Christmas do. I don't know if we kind of been double booked at the venue. We were definitely not the type of music for those people, which is fair enough. But you couldn't have been fucking less interested, could they? I don't think they came in at all.
Literally.
Play Frank Sinatra, and we come out on stage. It's one of them. You're not getting what you paid for there, are you?
Yeah.
We're listening to Frank Sinatra.
Nah, they weren't that. It was definitely a genre mix.
Yeah.
I think the heaviest that they might listen to was like Blackstone Cherry, and a little bit heavier than Blackstone Cherry. They're very southern rock biker types.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, because you're kind of like a heavier version of that. It's interesting you say that, and like, because I do agree that sometimes, and I've played stupid gigs where I'm like, why have we been booked for this?
Yeah,
for this gig when we're playing with like bands that are nothing like. I get it if it's a battle of the bands, fair enough, because generally like Metal to the Masses is metal anyway. But I've played other battle of the bands where it's been a mix, because it can be like any band plays, and then generally the people who are there are kind of, I guess, expecting different stuff. Sometimes I always just like, I try and think positive when I'm like, they've just gone for a cig, they'll be back in a minute. They've just gone to the bar, they'll be back in a minute.
And
end of the gig, I'm like, I didn't see them.
Or you stop playing and the room fills up again.
I hate that.
That's the worst.
I hate when that happens.
I think it's important in those situations just to remember that you're playing with your boys at the end of the day. You know, if people are gonna walk off and not appreciate it, fuck them. That's my attitude.
Yeah. I think we've had...
If I look across at the stage and I see Jack there drumming his heart out, I can be like, that's what I'm doing it for.
Yeah, you bounce off each other and stuff.
Yeah, we kind of treat them as like a live rehearsal then. If we're like, this ain't working, this is just, let's just smash it out, and it's just a live rehearsal.
Training, isn't it? It's 10,000 hours.
Character building.
Yeah,
that's heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah, I have a reason to get drunk, so.
Do you think that like being like do you think that playing gigs is as much for yourself as it is for the people watching?
It's more for me, if anything.
I would say it's more. I don't know. I think there's an element of, obviously you're going out to put a show on, and you always have to remember that you are putting a show on. But at the end, it's my show, or it's our show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We've always kind of prided ourselves as well as making music for, obviously for everyone. We want everyone to listen to it. But like when we started playing gigs and we could like really tell what was popular and what was really working for some bands, we like strongly decided to stick to our roots and stick to what we were doing and not go down what would have probably maybe back then advanced us up a few steps of what you need to do to get where you want to go. And we stuck to our roots, and
So-
that it was actually noted by, I mean, like the 0161 community, James and Jane both said we like how unique you are in a way, and how you're doing your own thing and you're leading your own little subgenre. And with that, that's not me saying that. When someone tells you that, it's like, wow, like we are just writing songs that we want to listen to. You know what I mean? We're writing songs that we want to listen to. I think.
Important point that when we write, we write. Our law in 99 Mercies is we only write bangers. So it's you know, I think if you got attitude, at some point you're gonna write a banger. You know.
Yeah, sift through the riffs and pick the ones you really want to make into songs, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
I
think you can tell the difference between a band that's writing metal or writing for metal. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So you can tell the difference between a thrash band that's gone out and they've only listened to Metallica, or you can go and listen to a thrash band and they really understand the genre of thrash. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like like sometimes I hear bands and I think that it's like they're trying to be too much. Like it's almost like they're just like trying to fit in that category too much. And like all the songs are just
afraid to explore further than that. You know?
Yeah, a bit copy and paste. Like, oh, they've literally gone for the same thing. You know what? I just thought of a question actually. Do you guys have like some bands have like a pre-gig or a post-gig ritual? So, for example, it could be like, I mean, I know that like in my old band it used to be chicken. We used to always get chicken for some reason. I didn't personally eat before a gig because I always used to feel dead sick after jumping around so much. So some people don't. Like I've heard that. I know about Jack's 8 kestrels. Any other kind of things that you do every gig, like, or that you always go for sort of do something, or is it just different every time?
Generally the one. Generally we just get all of our crew, all the band members, girlfriends and everything, and we'll go and find the local spoons, sink a few. But we try, as ridiculous as this is, we try and have a 5-pint limit before we go on. But Jack hates that. So it goes out the window pretty quick. But no, pretty bad. We've not got anything spectacular. Like we don't do a huddle or anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't think it seems very American to me.
Oh man. So 99 Mercies, do you have anything you want to plug? Any merch? Any music online? Well, I was gonna say gigs coming up, but right now
I mean, I'll always suggest follow our social media, Facebook and that, because we are currently in the studio in the Audio Forge. We're recording with a guy who he wants to do it. He wants us to be in there and doing it. So we found
awesome.
So we're recording a single first to generate some traction, which hopefully first thing in the new year that's going to be out. And then comes the album. It's like a concept album in a way. There's a story there, which we are going to work on really getting it out, and we'll go from there. But also, I'm sure we've still got t-shirts, have we, Tim?
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I've got my T-shirt on it. Where the fuck's my camera? There we go. I don't know if you can see that. That's our merch. We've got
Nice.
very stock of it at the moment. But this one's the long sleeve. It's £10 a go, and then we've got T-shirts formats of it as well, and they're £8 a go. And then more on the album. Once the album does get released, we'll have all of that. We're going to do a package deal and everything, but that's later in 2021.
Yeah.
Just
Cool.
more social media activity. Just follow us on that. We're quite active on it, and we'll keep you updated with all the singles and albums and everything.
That T-shirt's mega value. Like that's because it's a cool design. Like it's because sometimes people don't want to wear just like a band name. Do you know what I mean? So that's like an actual proper design. Like that's awesome. That's mega.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean when I say like, you know, you get the T-shirt that says like Sum 41. Like some people don't like just having like, you know, that's pretty cool because that
it's designed to fall in line with the concept thing that Jack's talking about there. So the album it's a concept album. Written, it's very sort of Lord of the Rings-esque.
Oh,
The sort of character, it's a whole story that we're trying to tell. But yeah, more on that when the album drops.
Yeah. I look forward to it, man. That sounds proper exciting. That's mint. But yeah, dude. Again, both thanks so much for coming on.
It's been a pleasure being on.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much, guys. Keep
Cheers, boys,
the underground metal scene alive.
Take it easy.
Awesome.
Peace.
Cheers, lads. See
Cheers,
you in a bit.
boys. So that was 99 Mercies from Everywhere.
Yeah, that was good to have them in. Good to see them again.
Songs,
Yeah, so I have played with them before. That's why they recognise me.
Obviously.
That's how I thought about getting them on the show.
Should we move on to this week's? Are you gonna do the jingle?
Oh yeah, that's it. Album of the week.
There we go. This week's album of the week was my choice, and I was a little bit worried about making this choice.
Why?
Just because it's quite graphic, some of this album.
Do you have a dirty secret on this album?
No.
Or something that you wish to share?
It's quite a graphic album, but I don't think it. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't think it's any worse than like what you see on Netflix. So fuck it.
I don't think it was great. Well, okay.
Anyway, so this week's album of the week is "Black Is the New Black" by Everclear
Cool name.
from 2015. And I've known about this album, I think, pretty much since it came out, and it's been in not heavy rotation, but it's been in a lot of my daily listening.
This was your pick this week.
This was my pick this week.
Worth mentioning.
Okay, yeah, fine. It was
No,
my.
it is. I'm just.
This one was
I'm
my.
just saying.
This is if a musical wise, if a album could be more up my street, this is it. What did you think?
Okay, so I'd actually never even heard. I know this is embarrassing to say, but I don't think I'd even ever heard of Everclear. Maybe in the past it was mentioned. I don't know, because they've been going for a long time.
I think they were quite big in like the 90s and early 2000s.
Right. So yeah, that was like when I was starting my pop punk / emo phase. So I don't know, maybe, and I haven't listened to any of the older stuff either. So I don't know if this is different or the same.
I think this is quite different to the old stuff.
Right. Okay.
It's quite a dark album.
There is an underlying tone. It's almost like, and I was listening out for it. It is kind of like the album tells a story. I actually have my own.
I think it's a concept album.
I think it is too, and I don't know if they meant it to be or not. But I actually I got the feeling from the album that it was about a guy who there's a couple of different things in there that was possibly abusive to his wife or abusive to his family. Was like a gambler, an alcoholic, a drug addict. Like everything was kind of messed up for him. Something happened where he either has to leave, or there's a lot of outbursts in this album that I feel like that he's had to leave home, or he does something very rash, either to his wife or to his family or something, which is kind of in "This Is Your Death Song," which is track 6. And then by the end of it, I kind of feel like maybe he's fat. Like, I don't know if he also maybe possibly cheats earlier on in the album. Maybe he finds somebody just like him and they end up together, or he ends up becoming a loner. I can't put my finger on it. And this could be completely off the track of what anybody thinks the album is. I don't know, versus what I got from it, listening to the words and listening to it in order.
Well, it could be because, right, I've got something different to you.
Right.
So the first track is called Sugar Noise. And I think that's all about him growing up as a teenager, developing some drug habits.
Sugar.
He's a bit messed up. But he has like a kind of steady, stable kind of life. And then the second one is The Man Who Broke His Own Heart, which I think is him falling off the rails completely.
This could be either one of the band members, or it could just be a theoretical him.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is what I've got from it over listening to it for years. Right? So I think the second one is him falling off the rails and like falling into this kind of rabbit hole of mental issues and maybe even psychotic kind of thoughts.
Yeah.
Then the third one is called American Monster, where it's evident that he goes and murders someone.
I was getting that off that one. I was definitely getting the murder vibe. But for me, the Man Who Broke His Own Heart was either him cheating or him, like, he knows that he's abusive or whatever, but he still kind of does it and he just keeps fucking it up. Like, he knows he's...
Yeah, I get that. And then the fourth one is him coming to terms with what he's done and maybe getting caught for murdering or whatever he's done. And then the fifth one is where he is in like therapy type thing, and it's all coming out why he is like he is. So it becomes apparent that he's been abused as a child. Did you get all this, or am I?
So with the fifth one, which is you, it was definitely essentially focused on that character. I don't know about, I didn't get any kind of therapy vibes off it as such, but
I feel maybe not.
It was definitely, for me, it was more of an internal thing.
Yeah, it's all coming out why he is like he is.
Mm.
And then track 6, This Is Your Death Song, is he's gone to go and kill the people that abused him.
Right. So for me, track 6 was him. He was definitely, track 6 was, and I know it's like a bit on the nose because the song is called the song is called This Is Your Death Song, but I got that as either that might be the accidentally killing of somebody he loved, like he messed up.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that came to me as well while I was listening to it like properly this time around for this was it could be that he's actually schizophrenic, and This Is Your Death Song is him trying to kill off that bad other side of his personality.
Yeah.
Because then the next track is all about him trying to like cut his life down and be more
simple.
Well, yeah. And then it kind of goes on like that. And then I get towards the end of the album, Pretty Bomb. I think that he's met someone. And then it all comes out what's happened in the past. And then she leaves him. And then track 11 is, I think he commits suicide at the end of it.
Wow. Okay. Let's go from, I'm going to go with from Simple and Plain.
Yeah.
Simple and Plain, I think is like he's cut his ties by murdering somebody or something. And even I get a little bit of a tone that even he's just plain dumb, possibly to I'm even going to go as far as saying if this song is written in a way that like to a detective or something, they'd be like, oh, I'm just a simple guy. You're really gonna like, I'm clutching at straws with that. You're really gonna have an open mind to get that. And then Anything Is Better Than This. Yeah, I mean that's like anything like he's fucked up basically.
I think
And
that's
then
kind of him in like a rehab.
yeah, I get that. I think Pretty Bomb, I get the same thing as you, like he's met somebody else. However, yeah, with Safe, I didn't get Suicide, but I did get Lack of Redemption. Like there's no happy ending to this album. It's not.
Yeah.
Everything's fine now, even though the song is called Safe, and you would think, well, that means everything's safe now, I'm fine. I get the feeling that it's almost a recurring cycle, and that possibly he's in another situation where it's just going to go the same way, or they broke up for whatever reason. I didn't get Suicide. However, now you've said it, there are definitely parts in that song where you would think that could be the case.
That's what I think. And I think it's a really interesting way to write an album, because you see so many like Netflix series at the moment or stuff on TV where it's that kind of thing that follows this kind and it's like a concept album, but there's like a Netflix series.
Yeah, like, and I don't know, like, I'd be so interested to know if Everclear are out there watching these videos, whether it's in 2021, 2020, or in the future when the channel's huge. Please feel free, Everclear, to send us a link. Send us a comment or a message and let us know if we're anywhere near. Because they're probably sat there thinking, well, these guys listen to the same album. This is about popcorn.
These guys have got no idea.
This is about cheese and popcorn or something like.
Well, when I first found this album, my Apple Music just lives in shuffle.
Right, yeah.
But when I first listened to this album, I listened to it in shuffle, and like tracks were coming. I'm going, this album is fucked up, man. Like, I wasn't putting it together that everything's linked. I was like, what is this track?
Do you think? I mean, I've not looked up reviews to see if it is a concept album or if it is linked. That like those songs could be in that order for a reason, or I mean,
totally. That album is written as one long story.
It does feel like it, doesn't it? From the off. I mean, Sugar Noise is it's not my favorite track, but it does kick off with a lot of like in your face riffs. There's loads of riffs.
Good start in it.
They're very. I would say the band is the singer is quite central, I think, to the band in general. Like the songs are. I'm not going to say the songs are written for the singer, but I get that vibe that like the singer is like, I don't know if he writes. I'd have to look into it. I don't know if he's like a guitarist and he writes a lot of songs as well. Possibly, maybe.
No, looking at the album cover, they're a 5-piece.
Let us know below. I mean, I'll probably find this and search this afterwards. I always like to go into these with a completely open mind. I don't like to, especially if it's a band I don't know, I don't want to like look up videos and stuff, because then I'll have like an idea of what they look like and stuff, and kind of want to listen to it completely clean slate. That's the vibe I get. I get that the singer is very, and these omit possibly even his words. I mean, a lot of singers write their own words, but sometimes not. Some bands, other members write entire songs and stuff. I feel like this one was written by one person with input from others, possibly, or maybe not. My favorite 3 songs on the album are actually, it was difficult to pick because there's so many different. So I love like the grunge feel. One of the songs has got a real grunge feel. I think it's The Man Who Broke His Own Heart is one. Complacent is the other, and Simple and Plain, and then there's another one that's got a bit of a grunge feel. I think it's Anything's Better Than This.
I didn't expect you to come up with them ones.
I know, because American Monster is really good as well, right? I do like, that's like the kind of the real, it's probably the hardest song on the album, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But for some reason, and it's good. Or Sugar Noise, one of them two. And it is good. It just isn't in my for some reason. I don't know. The Man Who Broke His Own Heart, definitely. Complacent, I don't know. I just like the simplicity of it. Da-na-na, da-da. And then Simple and Plain, I don't know. Like, again, it's just nice and easy. And then nice and easy, maybe not. And then Anything Is Better Than This. I think it's that one, which is like, it's almost like a Nirvana type riff.
Yeah, I got that. That's Nirvana inspired, I think.
Start, yeah. His voice isn't, but like it's the most punky or the most grungy. So it was your album. I want you to go first on what you would rate it, and also if you like it. Sounds like you do.
When I first listened to it, I was like, shit, man, this is like dark, like really dark. Like I think the first track that I listened to was You, which is the one about him being like abused as a kid, and like he goes back to the place where it all happened. And it's proper messed up. And I was like, I'm not sure about this, but I think I was out walking the dog the first time I heard it. But yeah, You has become one of my favorite tracks on it. In fact, I'm pretty sure if I go into my like iTunes top played, it's in the top 25.
Okay, bloody hell. All right.
So for me, it's the top 3 is You, American Monster, and The Man Who Broke His Own Heart. Them 3.
Okay, so so we only share one of our top.
Yeah, I thought you'd go for some of the heavier stuff.
I like. I just those are the ones that were in my head the most and that stood out to me the most.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This isn't a particularly heavy album, is it?
Well,
rocky,
to some people, to some people it would be, but like for.
It's not metal though, is it?
For me, no, it's not metal. For me, it's not. I'd say it's more almost. No, I'm not going to say Bon Jovi rock, but it's.
What?
No, it's got like no, not like Bon Jovi. It's got like
It's like hard rock.
There's something about this album that's very familiar. This is actually okay. This is a good thing and a criticism from me. It's both. There's nothing new. Like in terms of the riffs, they all sound like riffs I've heard before. Not necessarily melodies and stuff, but the genre is very clear in what it is, I think. With this particular album, I don't know about their older stuff. This is very much a hard rock album, and they just fit into that category perfectly. The melodies and the words are a bit darker than some, like, you know, your general kind of Southern style, got drunk, met a girl type stuff. It's not really any of that. But yeah, it doesn't make it a bad thing, but it really does click with it's a hard rock album. It knows what it is, and it's good at what it is, but it knows that it's that.
Yeah, it does what it does well.
It's generic in that sense.
I think it's a clever concept, but it's not. It's not. If this was TV, it would just be your average TV program.
Yeah.
But because you never get it, or I've never really come across it. The only other concept album that I can kind of think of off the top of my head, and I don't even know if it is a concept album, is Green Day's American Idiot.
I'd say that's a concept album, yeah, because they wrote that as a story, like Jesus
but I don't think that's a story from like track 1 to track 12.
I think they meant for it to be. You know,
as obvious as this,
because it's about there's actually a play on that, and we'll probably come on to that. Come on to that another time. The other concept album I know of is My Chemical Romance, Welcome to the Black Parade.
Oh, yeah.
The full concept, and that's on somebody who is, well, dying, basically.
Yeah.
That's a really dark one as well. Why are these concept albums so dark? World Health Hostage have got a concept album coming out.
Is that what your album is?
It's going to be, yeah, but don't put that in there. It's fine.
Okay.
So anyway, final thoughts then.
All right. Just one more thing.
Yeah, no worries.
I think if 3 Days carried on, this is where we would have ended up. With
as good as that.
Something sounding like this.
I did get that, actually.
I think that's why it feels familiar to you, because I think that we can relate to it.
Maybe that is why. Because it is very much slotted in with that kind of, that style of music. Like, it really does slot into that perfectly.
I think we were, like, let's say 3 Days got big in America. Like, that would be a good lineup. That would be, if we'd have carried on, maybe, obviously, all hypothetical speaking, it could have been a good lineup, would have been the likes.
Yeah, I think it would have been. And I loved the idea of concept. But so years ago, I loved the idea of concept albums, and all my songs that I wrote were about like old stories and stuff that I'd heard. And there was, of course, there was a couple about like girlfriends and stuff and getting drunk and partying. But a lot of the songs I wrote, a lot of the words I wrote were like, you know, there was the one about like a guy in an asylum. There was a guy breaking out of an asylum. Another sad story was about a girl, but then there was Dirty Magazine, which was about a dirty man. Running, which
Are you trying to link all the old 3 Days songs together now? It's
yeah, well, no, running was kind of my almost like my religious piece. I don't know, like it's about anxiety and stuff.
So I think that's why we can relate to it so easily, because I honestly think that 3 Days could have become something like that.
Yeah, I think that
didn't, because we broke up 10 years ago.
And we would still sound different, but he's got a mega voice. Yeah, I definitely get that. So what would you give it? What would you give it number wise?
9.
9. So for me, yeah, I was really thinking about the number. It does get very familiar. I've listened to it a lot because it's so catchy, and not even that it's catchy, just that like it's easy for me to listen to. I find it very easy to listen to. Like it just it slots in perfectly in my kind of styles of music that I like. And I was very undecided with what to give it, and I'm going to give it an 8.
Ooh.
Yes. I'm going to give it an 8. Yeah, it was close, but I was actually close between 7 and 9. I was every day. I've listened to it a couple of times, several times in a day, and sometimes I've been like, yeah, it's kind of like a 7 because I'm getting bored of it now. And then other days I was like, yeah, but it's so good, it's a 9. So I'm going to go right in the middle and give it an 8.
Okay.
But it's class. It's a class album, and I recommend anybody to check it out who's into hard rock.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I don't know too much of Everclear's older stuff, but I think it's really different to anything they've ever done before.
I'd have to check out. Maybe we'll do another Everclear album in the future.
I've got a few albums on my iTunes, but I can't really. I don't think it's the same as anything from before.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Cool. I'll have to check them out. But yeah, awesome recommendation, dude.
Yeah. It's your turn next week.
It is. I'll tell you in a minute what we're going to do.
Which leads me on to something.
Okay.
That we haven't done before.
All right.
We have created an Apple Music playlist and a Spotify playlist.
We have.
Which you will get after this video has come out, a sneak peek of the album for next week.
And if you're watching this years down the line, there's going to be like 50 odd albums in there, so you're just going to have to guess. But if you're an avid listener, then you'll be able to know, because you'll know the album wasn't in there last week.
Yep. And you can go in and you can go and listen to it, and then you can join in the discussion down below.
Yes, you can join down below, and you can give your opinions on the album as well. And we're happy to comment back. We often do, and we will comment back on loads of on any comments you send through.
Comments. Say comments more. Comments.
Because some people might hate this album, but might be like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, like I like bring it. Like I don't know. Like people have different opinions.
I think lyrically, at first, it's a bit jarring. It's a bit like, woo, okay, like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think once you actually understand that it's, well, like I was relating it, like I said, back to like a TV series. It's no different or worse than anything you see on Netflix. At all.
That's the thing for me, though. That's why I've given it an 8. I've not been able to give it a 9 or a 10 because it's good, but it does have that feeling of it's no different than other stuff.
But I think it is different because it's not a TV show.
I think the concept thing about it is different, but musically, it's really good, but it's standard, like that particular
Okay.
slots in.
Why you mess with my head? Okay, all right, fine.
Which is interesting because I probably listened to this album more than any other recommendation.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will add next week's album into the Apple Music playlist and the Spotify playlist.
We shall. We're going to try and do it on Fridays.
We're leaving all the past ones, so you can listen back and you can say these guys have got zero taste in music. I am not going to listen to anything they say anymore, which is fair dues.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Think we're pretty much done.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much done. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell. Graingers little finger dance.
You got it.
If you want to be on the show, you can email us now at fuck
dot
at
B.
beeflife.uk
Yep.
at gmail.com. Or actually, we should have the new one by
We'll
then.
have the new one by then. Don't tout that one. Take that clip out.
Take that clip out. Cut. So you can email us now at info@beforlife.co.uk and comment, subscribe, slide into them DMs if you want to be on the show, or if you've got any stories, or if you've got any questions. Do you want to start a band? You don't know where to start? Don't ask us. We never made it. We don't know, but we'll answer your question.
We will.
I play in cover bands now. That's like the meaning of never made it.
But if you well, there might be some younger people or people who are older who don't even know where to start. And they just want, because we have the experience of what you're going to get when you start a band and you start doing gigs in your local area. That we can show you what's going to happen to an extent.
We can talk about that all year.
If you want to start a band and go touring with big massive bands, we haven't done that.
No idea, but we'll try.
Yeah, we can imagine it. We can live it through you.
We'll live vicariously. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Yes. Thank you for watching any of the others if you have done. Yes. Thank you for subscribing.
Yes.
Thank you for liking. Yes. Thank you for following us on Facebook.
Yes.
Thank you for everything.
Yes.
And make sure that you politely tap that bell so that you see any of the new videos coming up every Friday, 3 o'clock on the dot. We'll see you next week.
Yes. Ahoy hoy.